What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, we are back. This is the second live stream of the day, and this time we are going to be covering Magic Leap. Yes, this is everything about Magic Leap. We're really going to dive into Magic Leap. And so the reality with this particular episode is I could have tried to add some Magic Leap segments onto the regular daily vlog live, but you know, there was just too much stuff. There was too much stuff to dive into, too many little things to think about, and so I thought, why not have a Magic Leap special? I think that's a better idea, and so that is what we're going to do. This is a Magic Leap special. It is a live stream. I did do a post on the Magic Leap subreddit. I'm hoping that we can have some additional Magic Leap people join us in chat today. Let's talk about Magic Leap. A release of Magic Leap is extremely imminent, so we do want to talk about that. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be interesting. Let me go ahead and start things off, though, of course, with our regular trailer, and so let's go ahead and throw that on real quick. Yes, it is a Magic Leap special. It is Wednesday, August 1st. This is the daily vlog live, and we are going to talk about Magic Leap today. Let me make sure that I have my chat popped out. And yeah, I think I've got chat popped out. I'm not seeing anybody in chat yet. I'm assuming everything is live here. I did start like a minute early, so maybe a little bit early out the gate with chat. But here we are. We are going to go ahead and get into Magic Leap. And you know what? There's a lot of different... Here we go. Jigaman is in the house. Yo, what is up? That is a new name. I don't think I've seen Jigaman before, so I'm hoping maybe he is from the Magic Leap subreddit, and I'm hoping to have some Magic Leap subreddit chatters jump in. T-Dub. Now, T-Dub is familiar. We have seen T-Dub many times before. In fact, I think he watched the earlier live stream, which was just regular VR gaming. This is going to be AR. This is going to be Magic Leap. Let me go ahead and change this trailer here. Let's throw something else on in the background, and then we can go ahead and get started. So I kind of wanted to back up and just give a quick little overview. Oh, that's his first post ever in any chat on YouTube. Jigaman, what is up? Sparhawk is in the house. This guy showed up with like 5 minutes left in the last show. And Roy Schwartz checking in. He is curious about Magic Leap. Well, Magic Leap is a curiosity. Now, a lot of people would probably assume after the disaster that happened the other day when we found out about the extremely limited field of view for Magic Leap, a lot of people probably thought, okay, Anthony's going to finally shut up about Magic Leap. He's going to finally stop talking about Magic Leap. But you know what? I am this far in the game. I cannot stop now. I'm too far gone. I am still highly interested in Magic Leap. Now, did the field of view information, did that disappoint me? It did. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to try to spin it. I'm not going to try to pretend that it wasn't a major downpouring of rain on my parade. I'm not going to try to pretend that that's not the case. But I still have interest in Magic Leap. I am still extremely curious about Magic Leap and what they can possibly bring to the table. And there's a number of news. You know, there's a number of little news stories that have leaked out in the last couple of days, almost like an info dump. That is basically what I've called it. A lot of screenshots, a lot of different things that are going on. Okay, now we have Jono MacDougall checking into chat. 45% bigger than HoloLens. Doesn't sound like a disaster to me. Yeah, so I'm sure there are a few hardcore Magic Leap fans that went to my channel and saw that I had Magic Leap FOV disaster in the title, and they probably thought, what? This guy is anti-Magic Leap. Okay, I am not anti-Magic Leap. In fact, my fans think I'm crazy about Magic Leap. They think I talk too much about it. I am a Magic Leap fanboy, according to most of my fans, and I'm still highly interested in Magic Leap. I was mildly disappointed with the field of view, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to get to the field of view later. We've got some other news to go ahead and start out with. And so what I kind of wanted to start things out with a little bit is let's start out with some of the tweets from Roni Abovitz that I think are incredibly interesting. Let's get into this because I truly believe that a Magic Leap release is imminent. Magic Leap is going to be coming out in the very, very, very near future based on a number of these tweets by Magic Leap. We have Wild Wings checking into chat right now. He has a little rocket ship, and that is very appropriate right there. But basically, this recent tweet from Roni, this is a little while ago. We're talking July 30th, but what he said was, press has been at Magic Leap for pre-launch first look articles to come out on launch day. So the interesting thing here is they have probably invited Engadget. They've probably invited The Verge. They've probably invited Wired. They've probably invited VentureBeat. They didn't invite me. Why I was not sent an invitation, I don't know. I'm a little bit hurt. But I think I'll be able to get over it. But press has been there. So press has gotten a first look. And if you know anything at all about the press, you know that they have a very hard time keeping secrets. The press is not very good at keeping their lips sealed. And so I have to believe at Magic Leap, if they're smart, they shouldn't have shown the press anything about this so far in advance because the press is not good at keeping secrets. So this tells me that the launch of Magic Leap 1 is extremely imminent. It is incredibly imminent. However, the downside is there is a more recent tweet by Roni Abovitz that has just happened extremely recently that might rain on that parade a little bit. If you look at Jono MacDougall in chat, he has all these different suns lined up within a rocket ship, and that was kind of in Roni's most recent tweet that could suggest we've got like 8 more days to wait or something like that. But anyway, I wanted to take a look at these tweets, and I really feel launch is absolutely imminent. Wild Wings says the only reason they would have showed it to the press would be if they are under a week away. I have to agree with you, Wild Wings. Honestly, before this most recent tweet by Roni Abovitz, I had a prediction that Magic Leap would either launch tomorrow on August 2nd or it would launch next Tuesday. That was my prediction. Tomorrow, August 2nd, or next Tuesday for Magic Leap. And one of the reasons I'm going to say this is let's show the next Roni Abovitz tweet. Let's show Roni tweet number 2. And we do have Andre Mary Show checking into chat. What is up, Andre? Glad to have you. I really hope we get a lot of new Magic Leap people jumping into this live stream. That would be sweet. Yeah, they did cancel their live stream. That is another bit of news that we'll get into a minute here. But let's look at this Roni Abovitz tweet. This is July 31st, and Roni says, going into radio silence mode until launch. See you all then. Okay. Well, we know how much Roni Abovitz tweets. He tweets on a very regular basis. This guy can't survive for that many days in radio silence. In fact, we've already found out that he hasn't survived radio silence. He just tweeted recently. I don't have that one in here, but I feel like release has got to be extremely imminent if he's saying he's going to be quiet, because how long can he be quiet? That is not Roni Abovitz. So I think the press coming out there and him saying that he's going to be on radio silence, that tells me that a release is incredibly imminent. But Wild Wings, he says here in chat, They also canceled their live stream. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and take a look at that? 1 second here. We did have a tweet regarding the Magic Leap live show. This is from Magic Leap developers. Hi folks, busy summer. We're so laser focused on getting Magic Leap 1 in the hands of creators, we're pressing pause on Magic Leap Live. We'll be back soon with more tips and tricks for developers. So yeah, Magic Leap Live, we're not going to get that anytime soon. That's been kind of delayed. And you know, if release is incredibly imminent, then you would have to imagine that Magic Leap Live might go away for a little while, release would happen, and then maybe Magic Leap Live could carry back up again a little bit after that. That is a possibility. So that is what Wild Wings is talking about in chat. But you know what? We do have a number of news stories that are related to Magic Leap, some things that we've seen. So I do believe launch is very, very imminent here. I got to imagine within the next 8 or 9 days, this thing absolutely has to come out. I just can't see it not coming out unless Roni is just lying through his teeth. And I can't imagine they would invite press so incredibly early. So let's go ahead. Let's see here. The next thing that I wanted to get into is, well, why don't we go to something kind of possibly controversial here? And that is the price. So supposedly somebody grabbed this screenshot somehow off Magic Leap's website, which would suggest a price of $2,500. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at this image. It says, "Hey Ryan, thanks for your payment of $2,500. Your Magic Leap 1 will be sent shortly. The magic is about to begin." I don't know. This looks a little bit phony to me. This looks like it looks a little bit fake to me, but I guess you never know. Are we looking at a $2,500 price? So I definitely want to throw this out to chat right now. What is your predictions? We are going to get this Magic Leap 1 in all likelihood in the next 8 or 9 days, it seems. What is the price? What is your prediction? I'll tell you my prediction. My prediction is $1,999.99. That is my prediction, and I'm sticking with my prediction, which means I believe this is actually fake. Because if somebody were to buy Magic Leap and make a payment, it's not going to be exactly $2,500. I don't see that happening. There's going to be tax. There's going to be shipping. This seems fake to me. But who knows? You know, maybe Magic Leap themselves, maybe they leaked this just to kind of test the waters. And if people were crying foul over this, maybe they drop it a little bit lower. And if people were kind of like, oh, that's not that bad, maybe they'll do $2,500. I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility. We're talking conspiracy theory, obviously. Okay, let me bounce back over to chat. Jono MacDougall is saying, I'd say within a week, perhaps at most 2 weeks. Wild Wings is GVYUU is saying 8 days till ice cream. Yeah, that is the most recent tweet by Roni Abovitz. Is he kind of has a hint there, almost like it's going to be basically 8 days and then launch, just like you see Jono MacDougall in tweet there. He has all those suns, and then he has the rocket ship taking off. So if you do look at the most recent Roni Abovitz tweet, you'd have to say 8 days. But is press really going to keep their lips sealed for all those days? And is Roni going to really be radio silent, although he already broke it, for 8-9 days? I don't know. I still think tomorrow is a slight possibility, and I still think Tuesday, next week on Tuesday, is a really good possibility, because normally if you're going to launch a major product, it's kind of like Tuesday's the perfect day. If you have big news, you drop it on Tuesday, and then you get a lot of talk about it Tuesday. You get a lot of talk about it Wednesday. You get a lot of talk about it Thursday. And then Friday, everybody's going on vacations and stuff. Saturday and Sunday, people aren't really looking at the news that much, you know. So I don't know. There's a slight chance August 2nd tomorrow, but then they don't get much of a run up there. So I kind of think next Tuesday is a very good possibility. I'm looking in chat as well, and some people are talking about the price there. Wild Wings is saying it looks fakeish. It does look very fake. And GVYUU is saying $1,800. Roy Schwartz says tree 50. Tree 50, Roy, are you talking $3,500? It's going to be $500 more than HoloLens. Wild Wings talks about the reserve.js file, suggesting that there will be a deposit to get in line. Yeah, we did hear about that. And honestly, this is the good reason to have some of you Magic Leap guys in my chat, because that's the type of stuff that honestly, I looked at a lot of the information there, but I didn't pay attention to that. So that is good. There could be a deposit to lock down a Magic Leap 1. Jono MacDougall is saying $2,000 seems about right, but he wouldn't be surprised if it was higher. T-Dub says $2K US, and he hates to even think about the UK price. Just imagine if you were in Australia. The other rumors that we're hearing too regarding Magic Leap 1 Creators Edition, initially only available in the USA. Yes, sometimes it pays to be in the USA. Jim Hall says 3 easy payments of $2,500. I don't know about that. Sparhawk is saying, I think around $1,499, $1,500. Honestly, I would say $1,500 is probably our best case scenario. There is a lot of technology that is inside the Magic Leap 1, the most technology in any headset. The second that this thing hits the streets, the second that somebody can pay money and it's shipped to them and they open up their box and they have the first Magic Leap 1 Creators Edition headset and they throw that thing on their head, that is the most advanced headset on planet Earth when you consider eye tracking, when you consider room mapping, real-time mapping, active mapping, being able to go from room to room. When you consider the light pack and you consider the technology that has been packed in there, all the cameras, all the sensors, all the microphones, the 3D audio, it is the most advanced headset on the market the second it is available. It should enjoy that for a little while. HoloLens 2.0, anybody? 2019 HoloLens 2.0. So how long will Magic Leap enjoy that title? Jono MacDougall says, I think it is going to be way higher than anyone is going to be able to pay. That is why it is a Creators Edition. Well, they do want to get this thing in the hands of legitimate developers. Now, they don't want to price it at $1,000 and have a whole bunch of people faking that they're developers, but they don't want to price it at $5,000 or $3,500 or anything like that. They need a lot of developers working on Magic Leap apps and taking advantage of what is going on here. Okay, so Wild Wing says, I say Creators Edition will come in at $2,000 to $2,500. After that, Q1 2019, we may or may not see a more consumer-friendly launch with AT&T. That is right. Remember, AT&T is going to have demonstrations of Magic Leap 1 later this year in 5 cities. I believe it will be in San Francisco, Los Angeles, I think Chicago, Boston, and Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not very far away from San Francisco, so I am hoping to make that drive. Okay, let me go ahead and get it off the fake $2,500 Magic Leap receipt. I'm calling it fake right now. You know, we'll have to see. Is it really fake? I don't know. Let me throw on a little Magic Leap montage. So, you know, looking back at the history of Magic Leap, remember that submarine? We remember the ballerina, the little girl looking at the ballerina. Of course, we do remember the elephant in the hands. Let's take a look at Magic Leap over the years here with this little trailer. Magic Leap, we do remember the elephant, okay? And of course, we do remember this one, the dragon, kind of Harry Potter-ish. And then here's the big one, guys. That's the big one. The whale breach in the gymnasium. This is the one so many people talking a lot of smack in the main market, the mainstream media talking a lot of smack about Magic Leap, saying that whale has never come to be. This was an early Magic Leap demo, kind of showing you the UI, kind of giving you a feel for it. And then, of course, we do get the Dr. Gorbort's Invaders, which a lot of people are saying that this is basically all hocus pocus now, that none of this is real. Jono MacDougall says, concept videos from 3 to 5 years ago are not a great thing to compare to a product you can buy today. But you know what, Jono? Look, I'm going to be real here. I support Magic Leap. I'm a fan of Magic Leap, but to be honest, the reason I became a fan of Magic Leap is because I saw stuff like this, and I thought I was going to be playing a game like this in my actual house. I thought things were going to come out of the walls, you know? I thought things were going to come out of the floors and the ceilings, and I thought it was going to be super incredible. And I thought it was going to be like the light shooting into my eyes and all of that. This was the promise of Magic Leap. This is why I was excited about it. Obviously, we know the reality is a little bit different. Of course, we have had some Magic Leap spokespeople. There's a guy, Broadmort, I think is his name, Greg Broadmort or something like that. He was talking about this experience, saying that what we're seeing here is essentially the real game. Okay, now when you look at this one, it says shot directly through Magic Leap technology, October 14th, 2015. No special effects or composting were used in the creation of these videos. So this isn't Magic Leap 1, of course. This is Magic Leap technology, possibly technology they were unable to miniaturize. There is some thought that what if Magic Leap, the current Magic Leap 1 that we're actually going to get our hands on, is it really that breakthrough technology that Magic Leap had, or is it more of a Me Too HoloLens? And the good news is we're like 8 days away from, less than 8 days, maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. It is incredibly imminent. We are going to find out what the real deal, the rubber is going to meet the road with Magic Leap. Yeah, so Wild Wings is saying those videos are more grounded to the real world versus the whale video. Yeah, the whale video is really out there. Wild Wings says, if you pay attention to how Apple is currently marketing ARKit in their commercials, it's very similar to the whale and early concept video. Mainly those videos were marketing department. GVYUU, early concept videos don't represent today's tech. Yeah, but I thought we should take a quick little look at what Magic Leap has been showing us over all this time, and then, you know, we can move forward after that. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at my notes because I know we do have, well, you know, here's one of the things I wanted to talk about. We can continue to take a look at this video, and one of the things that we found out, this leaked out in this info dump of all this information that is coming out, is that Magic Leap apps must not drop below 60 frames per second. So this is something they are trying to mandate to all developers. According to documentation, it says apps must not have fluctuations in the frame rate which drop below the acceptable limit. And the acceptable limit is 60 frames per second. So that's what they're saying here. No apps should ever drop below 60 frames, which is good. That is good. We know with the Oculus Go that you can have a lot of stuff running at 60 frames per second, and it's not very bad. It's not very bad at all. We got some other information about Magic Leap. Supposedly, we got the storage, the onboard storage of Magic Leap 1 Creators Edition, supposedly 128 gigabytes of overall storage with 95 gigs available for apps. Now, this is an unconfirmed rumor. We don't know for sure. Now, we're looking at that jellyfish there. And when you look at that jellyfish, here is the Star Wars, actually. Let's see if I have some audio for this. Hold on a sec.
We have not yet reached the desired arrangement with Jabba the Hutt regarding Captain Solo's death. An army of stormtroopers is searching for us. It can only be a matter of time before we are blasted into spare parts. I told you it was dangerous here.
So, I mean, you know, we got to understand also that companies like Lucasfilm have signed agreements with Magic Leap. And I don't, look at that. That's a Lucasfilm logo. They've signed agreements with Magic Leap. They're not going to do that just for the hell of it. You don't see Lucasfilm signing agreements with Meta 2. So, you know, you don't see them signing agreements with Avagant. So there is something real here. Now, of course, when we did see the field of view information that did leak out, then you got to say to yourself, well, how impressive will that Star Wars video that we just saw with R2-D2 and C-3PO, like how impressive is that really going to be with the FOV window? So we're still a little bit concerned there. This, of course, is Shaq. He's wearing his Magic Leap 1. At a certain point, he's talking about watching LeBron James on a table in front of him. LeBron James is like this tall. He sees LeBron right in front of him. And, you know, he's showing, of course, we're seeing some background of them animating Shaq, putting Shaq in a room, all of these kinds of things. Okay, let me bounce back over to chat real quick and let's see what's going on. Wild Wings talks about installment plans to spread the cost for the consumer. That would be good. And I think that is what is happening with AT&T and with 5G. 5G is going to be a very big deal. When we first heard about this AT&T partnership, one of the big problems that we had with the AT&T partnership is why would anybody use it? You're going to be indoors. This is an indoor product. And if you're indoors, you're going to be on Wi-Fi, right? Well, there is 5G, and 5G has some things that it brings to the table that can really change things for VR and AR, especially in the world of super incredibly high resolution 360 and 180 degree videos. Lots of interesting stuff like that where 5G can play into it, and then we could have installment plans like Wild Wings is talking about. Let's see here. Jono MacDougall says, I'm really curious to see how well the occlusion works. You can see the table occlude R2-D2 in that video. And GBYUU says 8 gigs for system is quite large, possibly for operating system and SLAM mesh. Yeah, I do have that in my notes as well. Let's see here. Yeah, 8 gigs, supposedly, like, there's 8 gigs of memory for developers with 4 gigs of that dedicated to apps. The battery life is about 3 hours. This is another thing that we got out of this little info dump. The LightPack battery can last for about 3 hours, and the control, the little remote controller that you're holding, can last for 7.5 hours of continuous use between charges. So I think 3 hours of battery life, which obviously will vary depending on the experience that you're having and how demanding it is, etc. But I think 3 hours is pretty good when you're talking about this is a wireless, this is a portable device, this is a device that you can walk from room to room actively, and it will scan the different rooms that you're in. So that's where some of the breakthrough could be here with Magic Leap, being able to go from room to room, not having any wires. I mean, yeah, you have the wire to the LightPack, but not having other wires tying you down. That is advantageous. So we're looking at a 3-hour battery time. I already mentioned 128 total gigs of storage, 95 of which is available for apps. The rest of it is held for operating system and all kinds of other stuff like that. Now, when we get to the field of view, so obviously the field of view information has been disappointing. We've heard some very disappointing things about field of view. Basically, we are talking about a 40 degrees horizontal field of view, and we're talking about a 30 degrees vertical field of view, and the diagonal is a 50 degrees diagonal field of view. So we're talking almost like a 4:3 aspect ratio. The HoloLens, by comparison, is 30 degrees horizontal and 17 degrees vertical. So we're looking at almost double the vertical field of view that HoloLens has. So it's not much wider than a HoloLens, but it's giving you a lot of extra vertical space to work with. And I think what Magic Leap is going to do here is they are going to do a lot of special things to try to dial that experience in, so you're primarily focusing on that 4:3 window, and if you're standing far enough back from stuff, it's going to look pretty damn impressive. So that's the possibilities there. Let's go ahead and check chat real quick. Jigaman says, I think for it to look good, you'd want the room to be lit dimly. It can't produce black or shadows and depends on your background to make it work. Yeah, you will notice that in all of the videos, see, the press was brought to Magic Leap, which is very smart, because then what Magic Leap can do is they have all the press in a very specific kind of room. They could test the lighting in advance. They have sofas, they have coffee tables, they've been measured to the millimeter, so they know that. So they can have the best impression for press when press comes out with all of these reviews the day this thing drops. We're going to have Engadget probably having a major story the day this thing drops. We're going to have Wired with a major story. We're going to have The Verge, VentureBeat. A lot of these kinds of websites are going to have a major story the day this drops, and I believe that their impressions are going to be, basically what I'm going to say is that I think press is going to be overly positive, and I'm going to say that while they're going to complain about the field of view, and they're going to say the field of view is a downer, it's a Debbie Downer, but I'm going to say that they're going to also say that Magic Leap did a tremendous job of designing applications that kind of hides the fact that the field of view isn't there, and that once you're in it, when you're in that experience for a couple of minutes, you forget about the field of view. The field of view is no longer an issue, that maybe you have to stand further back than you'd like for some of these experiences, but you can have a pretty good experience there. And you know what, Magic Leap, we did get some information, by the way, in regards to some real world examples of how the field of view works. Basically, what they said here is that you could view a large house cat lying down, the entire cat, from 40 inches away, a little over 3 feet away. So for example, you could be looking at your sofa, you could be 40 inches away from your sofa, looking at your sofa cushion, and they could have a Magic Leap cat that is laying down right there, and you will see the entire cat head to tail 40 inches away, a little over 3 feet. That isn't so bad. You know, that isn't so terrible. Another thing that we heard here is that a standing large dog, like a Labrador or Retriever, from 75 inches away, you can see the entire dog, a Labrador or a Retriever, if you are roughly 75 inches away. That's a little over 6 feet away. You can see a dog standing right there. A 90-inch widescreen TV if you're just over 9 feet away, and a family of 3 6-foot-tall humans standing side by side from about 144 inches away, which is 12 full feet. Now, from me over to that wall is more than 12 feet. So if I had Magic Leap on right here and I'm looking over at my wall there, I could see 3 full-size humans standing shoulder to shoulder, 6-foot-tall humans standing right there in my room. So I think if you stand the right distance back and kind of understand how this thing works, it could still be very impressive. You know, I mean, I'm trying to hold out hope here. I want to remain positive. I want to give Magic Leap the benefit of the doubt until I'm proven wrong. You know, and there, of course, is the rock golem on the screen. And this is where things started to go bad, because a lot of people started saying, what are we doing here? This is nearly a $7 billion valuation of Magic Leap. If you look at all the investments that have been made since its inception, it is valued at 6 point something billion dollars. Okay, that is the actual valuation of Magic Leap, and a lot of people are saying, what is the deal here? I don't understand this. I'm looking at this rock golem. You know, this is not that impressive. The asteroid that's flying at me is not that impressive. But I think when you have the actual headset on and you're seeing this happen in your real life scenario with that sofa, we do see the lighting there. The lighting is rather dim. So there could be a lot of these little issues we have to consider as well. Let me go ahead and see what's going on over here in chat. Okay, Jono MacDougall is saying AT&T is for the next iteration of Magic Leap. Obviously, AT&T, it's the 5G version. The first version of Magic Leap is not going to have 5G. Sparhawk is saying, I think this is looking to replace a smartphone. That's why they're partnering with AT&T. Well, AR in general is a smartphone replacement, but we're probably 10 years away from that. You know, I don't think anybody is going to be throwing away their iPhone and just going 100% Magic Leap or HoloLens 2 or Meta 3 if they're able to cut the cord at some point or anything like that. I think we are at least 10 years away from this stuff replacing the smartphone, but this is the beginning. The idea is this is where it all begins. This is the very beginning part of it. Wild Wing says the HMDs that'll be coming in 5 to 6 years will have most of their compute moved to the cloud. Thanks to 5G, so much bandwidth. A lot will change in the coming 10 years. And that's why I've joked a lot about 5G on some VR Roundtable podcasts, on this show as well. I've joked about 5G because really I have heard a lot that 5G is going to be this really big deal and that people just don't realize how big of a deal 5G is going to be long term, especially when it comes to video content. One of the things that Magic Leap is able to do, it's able to put a number of screens in your field of view at the same time, high resolution screens, and that's partly where the AT&T 5G could come into play there, because think about the internet streaming all kinds of different sporting events. Think what that would do for a sports junkie to have all those screens going anywhere where he walks around his house. You walk to the kitchen, you're making a sandwich, and you're still watching 4 different NFL games simultaneously. So these are the kind of things that we might be able to think about here. I'm going to go ahead and switch up, throw on a slightly different video here just because we've been running that same video. Obviously, this is one of the old Magic Leap live Twitch streams that they had. Of course, this is the don't remember her name off the top of my head here, but she was demonstrating the front of the Magic Leap 1 and obviously the light pack and all of that. And this thing is incredibly imminent. We are going to be getting this thing very, very soon. GVYUUH says 3 hours is probably average. Wild Wing says 3 hours is longer than I was thinking. Yeah, 3 hours, I don't have a problem with that. Jono McDougall, it was pretty close to expectations over the last 6 months to a year. Oh, he's talking about the vertical field of view. Yeah, you know, when you talk about 50 degrees diagonal, I was actually expecting like 60 to 65 degrees diagonal. So when I think about the fact that it is 50 degrees diagonal, it's actually not as horrible as I originally thought. This has definitely got vertical ability here. And vertical can come into play in terms of seeing a full-size human standing on the ground. You know, honestly, vertical might be almost more important for AR than having horizontal. Vertical may be more important. So this 4:3 window that we're looking at is not a bad deal here. Noah is in the house. Noah _A_S. What is up? This guy, you know how we talk about Paradise Decay is the hardest working VR YouTube streamer. Noah is the hardest working Magic Leap fanboy on the Magic Leap subreddit. I mean, he basically has the Magic Leap subreddit over his back. He is carrying it constantly posting with some really good posts, some really good links, lots of good information. Much love, Noah. Really appreciate that. Definitely very appreciative of that. T-Dub is saying, do we have the resolution? The demos all look great, but the VR demos on flat screen look better than the true image. You know, I don't know that we don't have the resolution as far as I know. Let me see here. We did get somewhat of an info dump recently, but not resolution as far as I can tell here. But let me go ahead and change this trailer up. I want to throw on another Magic Leap little montage I have. This is also stuff that is part of the info dump. We're seeing some screenshots here that are probably going to be basically showing us what it's going to be like when we get our Magic Leap 1 Creators Edition. I'm sure Magic Leap is going to ship one to me. You know, the FedEx truck is going to arrive any day now. And when I get my Magic Leap 1, it's going to be awesome because, you know what, I'm going to be able to see that beautiful tree, and I'm going to be able to hook it up to my Wi-Fi. Here's the gallery. I'm going to be able to, you know, touch all these little indicators, tap trigger to place. You know, so these were some screens and some minor little videos that kind of leaked out recently, or maybe not necessarily leaked out. This is all media. There's the airplane video, of course. We did cover this just the other day ago. I did show some of this footage. Not exactly impressive. Very, very, very low resolution video here. So hard to tell. Here we get a sample, though, of using your hands and selecting terms and conditions about websites, this sort of thing. So this is the app that you're going to use either on an iPhone or an Android phone. There is going to be a Magic Leap app that will kind of integrate. Here we see a windmill, and you see a square around that. I wonder if they're trying to tell us that's the field of view. Now, this is a misleading image, in my opinion, based on the field of view, because the soccer game, the tree, and your photos over there, you can't see all of that in that window. There's no way in hell unless you're standing 30 feet away. This robot, how much of that is going to be in the field of view? So the Magic Leap fanboys out there, we might have a few in chat right now at this point in time. What is your defense for this field of view? Is there a positive way to spin it? The most positive way that I can spin it is I think vertical field of view actually really does matter with AR. I think it's more important. I think vertical is actually more important with AR because you're going to have a lot of creatures and humans and things that are going to be inside your room, and I think vertical is very good for that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and check out chat. The Jordan Complex is checking in super late to the party. What's up, guys? What's going on, Jordan? Wild Wings at Noah AS is basically, yeah, he's basically the Magic Leap subreddit. He is the Magic Leap subreddit. He's the glue which holds it together. Wild Wings, resolution will be low number-wise, but that may not translate to real world experience. And we have VR Mania Q. Oh, dude, it is 1:43 in the morning. It's 1:43 in the morning, and he's in the UK, and he's waking up to go to work. Damn, it is straight late night in the UK. Yeah, I have a pretty good UK audience, actually. I don't know exactly why, but for some reason, we got a pretty good UK audience, and most of them are deep in REM sleep right now, so they will have to watch this next time. Tomorrow they'll have to check this out. But yeah, let me throw something different on the screen here as we continue to consider Magic Leap. Let's see. Well, let's take a look at a field of view sample. And so this is where people, this is where people start trying to kind of talk a little smack about Magic Leap in terms of the FOV. Somebody tweeted this out. This is supposed to be some type of panoramic image. And you see these different green squares. These are the different field of views. And the smallest square, that person is supposedly standing 7 feet away. The guy that is in the middle of the HoloLens window there. He's supposedly standing 7 feet away. You can only see his head and his shoulders. That's all you're really seeing in the HoloLens field of view. When you go to Magic Leap, it gives you a bit more. You're seeing more of his upper torso. You see the lady standing next to him there, a little bit of her. And then the next, we go to a much, much, much bigger field of view with Oculus Rift, HTC Vive. I don't know, that seems kind of weird because Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, the field of view is very, very similar. I don't think it's that different. So I'm not sure about this little comparison shot. A little bit interesting. Oh, so GVYUU is from Ireland. Getting late here. Yeah, it is crazy late. I super appreciate anybody that is willing to stay up that late for this dumb show. Hussein X, much love for anybody that is willing to stay up this super late. That is awesome. Really love that. Let's see. Why don't we throw on... Okay, you know, going back to the hype days. Let's go back to the hype days of Magic Leap. Where do I have it? Okay. So, you know, I mean, these are the kind of things that we saw back in the days. There is Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais, he flew down to Florida. He saw Magic Leap. Here was his tweet. "You are about to change the world. How does that feel?" And then he says, "I imagine Logie Baird and Alexander Graham Bell felt the same." Of course, not everybody felt the same. Beyonce supposedly got a demo of Magic Leap and was disappointed, really wasn't tripping on it at all, didn't think it was that big of a deal. But we do have people like Ricky Gervais that was super into it. And Wild Wings is saying these are the hype days, back when it was fiber scanning lasers. Yeah, fiber optic projectors, little tiny fiber optic projectors that would shoot light right into your eyes, light that looked so natural. That was that the whale? Is that where we get the whale video? Speaking of the whale video, let's throw on the whale video just for shits and giggles. Let me find this whale video. But yeah, you know, Roni Abovitz, I mean, he was tweeting all about that. Yeah, now this whale video, I mean, some people will say, oh, I got to rescale this. I mean, resize it, sorry. Some people were saying that this whale video, and there's actual sound here. I don't want to destroy your guys' eardrums. So that is the famous whale video, obviously, you know. So a lot of the biggest Magic Leap pundits, they will point to this kind of stuff. They'll point to the elephant in your hands, the ballerina. First of all, none of these people have Magic Leap 1 goggles on, so it'd be a little bit more accurate if every single person was wearing Magic Leap goggles. But you know what? That whale, that whole thing, in another 10 years, this could be really real if everybody has goggles on. It won't be real right now, but, you know, let's be patient. Let's have a little bit of patience. Wild Wing says, I think that tech is at the mercy of Father Time to get miniaturized. But I kind of think that is why this company is valued at like $6.89 billion. It's valued at $6.89 billion because if they can really miniaturize that, that might be the kind of thing that we would actually experience. How incredibly amazeballs would that be? And then, of course, a more recent video that we just got is, of course, the Magic Leap Golem, which I'm going to have to resize this just a sec here. And here's our Magic Leap Golem. I don't think we have any audio for that. And so, you know, we go from the whale to this. And that's why, you know, it was kind of, Magic Leap was the brunt of a lot of jokes recently. A lot of people talking major smack. We saw this on the Oculus subreddit, the Vive subreddit. Basically, all the Magic Leap haters had an absolute field day with all of this. And some people are saying this is why Magic Leap Live isn't happening, because this turned out to be somewhat of a PR disaster. I don't think it's that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, because I honestly don't believe that Magic Leap is going to have 1 million Magic Leap 1s in retail boxes ready to ship all over the world. I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to have extremely limited availability. You're not getting this from Amazon.com. Like we've already heard, you might have to pay a deposit. You might have to get on a special approved list. This might not even, you might have $3,000 and want to buy a Magic Leap 1 and you simply can't because maybe they're going to have it very limited to developers. We don't know exactly what's going to play out. We're going to have to wait and see what's that. Let's go back to chat. Noah says the whale was stitched together. Sadly, it's a PR thing, but who's to say that'll be the case always? A friend of mine who's making a project called ExoKit is going to also make a way to Magic Leapify any website compatible with Magic Leap. Yeah, see, Noah's got the inside scoop. Noah, have they flown you down to Fort Lauderdale yet? Wild Wing says investors like roadmaps, 5, 10, 20-year maps in return in capital. They are investing in some core tech. Jono McDougall says, I think we need to stop comparing the Magic Leap 1 to a 5-year-old concept video. Well, hey, Jono, no one put a gun to Magic Leap's head and forced them to make those videos. They came out with those videos. So, you know what? They got to kind of face the music, you know? I mean, let's be real here. Noah is saying the Golem is immersive content. Things like Helio browser and menus are landscape content. Roy Schwartz says it's almost impossible to explain VR to anyone, let alone AR. Yeah, this is one of the things Roni tweeted out a while back, and this was when this Golem thing first hit, and it was a real shitstorm, and a lot of people were talking really bad about Magic Leap. Roni said, how do you advertise television on the radio? How do you convey to somebody what television is like on the radio? You know, and if you think about some of the tweets that he said, some of it makes a little bit of sense. And so that's why I'm giving Magic Leap the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to make a final decision on Magic Leap. I'm disappointed in the field of view, but I'm not going to, you saw the field of view right there cut off. Did you guys see that? That's where you see the field of view cut off. Like right when the camera turns, you can see how that's the field of view. That's the thing that we have to be aware of, the limitations. There are limitations. We can't stick our head in the sand and be ostriches or whatever, whoever sticks their head in the sand. We can't be that. Let's be real. Let's take it for what it is. I like the vertical field of view. I think they're going to be able to put creatures, human beings, things in our environment where if you can stand 10 feet away, I think you're going to see some pretty incredible shit. Now, if you're in a really tiny room, I don't know that you're going to see some incredible shit. You'll probably be able to see little characters running around on like a little tabletop or something right in front of you, kind of like Shaq was talking about in seeing LeBron James right in front of him. Jonah McDougall says, people will forget about the Golem video. It really doesn't matter. What matters is what the consumer samples look like and what the hands-on says. That is absolutely true. And if I go to, say, you know, if we go to this Star Wars video, you can see that it is in kind of a squarish view here in this Star Wars video. Now, you would have to be pretty far back to be able to see both of these characters full size, but this is something that Magic Leap is going to have the ability to do. You see the occlusion with that table there. That is very impressive. This was shot with Magic Leap technology. This is, I believe, 2016, so that could be Magic Leap 1, but maybe the field of view. I mean, none of these videos are giving us an accurate impression of the field of view, but we never got accurate impressions of field of view with HoloLens either. So there is that. Okay, so let's see here. I'm almost going to be getting out of here in this. Let's see, was there any more information though? Before I bounce out of here, I got to take a look at my notes and make sure I went through everything. One of the things that we found out about is there's going to be some Magic Leap 1 accessories, a shoulder strap, chargers, a fit kit, and a prescription insert. Don't have much information about that, but these are some things that people have found from searching every little web page that Magic Leap has had and like looking for little clues here and there. So supposedly there's going to be some Magic Leap accessories. I kind of thought the shoulder strap would be in the box. And I would think chargers for like the little Magic Leap control, and then also obviously for the headset itself. I thought chargers would be in the box. Don't know what a fit kit is. Prescription insert, of course, is for those that are going to need prescription lenses. Yeah, Magic Leap is a little bit of a concern if you wear glasses. Luckily, I don't wear glasses. I don't have to worry about a prescription insert, but everybody else is going to kind of have to either deal with no glasses on, or they're going to have to get prescription inserts. And another shoe that hasn't dropped in relation to all of this is, are we going to be able to share our Magic Leap 1 with other people in our house? You know, can we share it? Is it going to be kind of locked into one person? Because these things are probably going to be $2,000, $2,500, $1,500 if we're lucky. I really hope that one household can maybe buy one and share one for a while, because they will be expensive. Noah is saying they'll have merchandise too. I got some. I have a coffee thermos and a shirt. You lucky little devil. Why don't they send me a shirt? Hey guys, I'm in a daily vlog every day. Send me a shirt. Jono McDougall is saying it was 5 years ago and it is a young company. I would say they produced that whale video to help recruitment. They had no idea it would haunt them this long. Oh yeah, I was saying, because nobody put a gun to their head. Nobody put a gun to Roni's head. Roni talks like he's in a fairy tale, but that being said, he has a lot of smart people gathered in Magic Leap for something. And speak of the devil, Roni Abovitz. I did make a little Roni Abovitz montage of just some little Roni Abovitz pictures here. I like Roni. He's a cool dude. You know, we've seen him in a number of like different interviews and stuff and on stage. He's a little eccentric. You know, he is a little eccentric. He's a visionary. I mean, this guy, we don't know what Magic Leap is really going to be long term. And if that original technology, if that original fiber optic projector technology, if they can eventually miniaturize that, this guy could be looked back upon in history as like a major influence, almost like somebody that invented television or something. I mean, this guy could be legendary, possibly. Or is he a snake oil salesman? You know, because that everybody, it's either he's a snake oil salesman or he's going to be legendary. Noah says it's the start of augmented reality. It's amazing. Well, you know what, Noah, I'm excited about this. I really am. A lot of my fans are VR fans. One of the reasons I had this little live stream here, a special Magic Leap episode, is a lot of my VR fans, they might they might hop off the chat when I start talking about Magic Leap. Like, they're not hyped on Magic Leap. They're not hyped on AR too much, but I try to see the bigger picture. I don't really care what I put on my head that takes me to some magical world. I just want to be taken there. You know, this is the dream. And I think AR is cool. I've said it before. VR has its place. I believe VR is your living room. VR is kicking back on your sofa, kicking back on your lazy boy in front of your big 70-inch 4K screen. That is what VR is. But AR is for everything else. And one of the really cool things about AR is there are gaming experiences with AR that are things that we never could have thought of before. And we're going to have some truly magical gaming experiences with AR where you can look at your floor and there could be stuff going on in your floor and you have to dodge it. There's all kinds of crazy things that could be done in AR. I think it's going to be, and then also Magic Leap 1, as far as we know, right, the controller has 6 degrees of freedom. So you could have stuff going on your floor goblins and stuff running around, and maybe you have something that is shooting things out at them. I mean, there's all kinds of weird, crazy games that could be played with Magic Leap. I think everybody that doesn't give AR the time of day, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know, they are literally throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So I'm still hyped. I'm hyped on HoloLens 2 as well. I have no allegiance to Magic Leap. I was rooting for Magic Leap. I'm not going to lie. I was rooting for Magic Leap, and I was hoping that Magic Leap steps up to the steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park. I would like nothing more. There's my boy, Rony Abovitz, founder, president, CEO, visionary. He's like that guy. Like, did you guys see the Truman Show? Christoph. You know Christoph in the Truman Show, that guy that wore that little cap. He was like the visionary. That's Rony Abovitz. He's eccentric. He's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He is a visionary. This is Magic Leap. Yeah, you know, if they want to fly me to Florida to get a little bit of sample of that Magic Leap 1 Creators Edition, I am not hating at all. I would love to take a trip real quick. I have no problem with that. Okay, let's see what folks are talking about over in chat. Noah says spatial computing. Sparhawk says this is the first step into Oasis-like VR. Wild Wing says Apple won't be far behind. They will wait until it's more ready for the masses. Jonah McDougall says Rony does talk like he is in a fairy tale. I love it, but he could use some PR training. Roy Schwartz says the whole thing is really why I'm here now. No offense, dude. I hope for mind-blowing everything soon. Yeah, so anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to go ahead and do it for this stream on Magic Leap 1 Creators Edition. I do feel release is imminent of this thing. I think August 2nd is a slight possibility. I think next Tuesday is a really good possibility because Tuesday is a great day to release something for maximum exposure, especially having all these articles hit. Tuesday makes a lot of sense to me. We know that Rony can't help himself. He loves to tweet. He cannot stay radio silent very long. So this thing has got to be imminent. So we will look forward to that. I thank everybody out there for coming in, especially all the new people from the Magic Leap subreddit. Noah, Wild Wings, Jonah McDougall, much love at GVY, UU. Thanks a lot. Everybody coming in, really appreciate it. And I'm going to continue to cover Magic Leap. Very interested in the launch. Don't know if I'll be able to get my hands on one, but definitely interested. So I will see everybody tomorrow on our next show of the Daily Vlog Live. So you can, of course, catch me on the regular VR show where we do also cover AR and breaking news in any category. I will definitely be there. All right, take it easy. Later.